All right, look, at some point in time for the Bearcats men's basketball team, close is not going to be good enough.
Our Locked On Bearcats, your daily podcast on the Cincinnati Bearcats, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you so much for making Locked On Bearcats your first listen every day. It's free and available everywhere you get your podcasts, including right here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to our Locked On Bearcats YouTube channel and follow it to get an alert every time we drop a new episode. We're approaching 700 subscribers, so keep those subscribers coming. We've got plenty of great content for you this week. Today's episode of Locked On Bearcats is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. Alex Frank with you, your host each and every day right here on Locked On Bearcats. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. The Bearcats falling to Memphis yesterday, 75-68. It was a hard-fought game on both sides for the Bearcats. Victor Locken with a sensational effort, 22 points, 10 rebounds. He was 11 of 14 from the floor. He also added 3 steals, but picked up 4 fouls. Landers Nolly II playing his former team, the Memphis Tigers. He chipped in with 18 points, more than chipped in. He had 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. David DeJulius added 15 points and 6 assists, but committed 5 turnovers. The next closest scorer was Jeremiah Davenport off the bench with 6 points in 26 minutes, 2 of 7 from the floor. Those were both 3-point shots. He was 2 of 6 from the 3-point line. Dan Stillings Jr. only scored 3 points, but he did have 3 rebounds. Jeremiah Davenport had 5. Micah Adams-Woods, a quiet night for him. In fact, very quiet. Just 2 points on 1 of 10 shooting from the floor. The Bearcats had 15 assists to 12 turnovers. They shot 40% from the floor, 6 of 24 from 3, 14 of 21 from the free throw line. For Memphis, DeAndre Williams led the team with 26 points and 8 rebounds, 10 of 18 from the floor. Kendrick Davis, the American Athletic Conference's leading scorer and assist man, had 21 points and 6 assists, but he was only 4 of 10 from the floor. But he made up for it at the free throw line, going 12 of 14, 5 rebounds for Kendrick Davis. Memphis also got 10 points from Keontae Kennedy. He was 4 of 9 from the floor with 3 rebounds, 2 of 4 from 3, and 2 assists. The Tigers had 16 assists to 13 turnovers, shot nearly 50% from the floor, 25 of 52, 5 of 14 from 3, only 4 3-point attempts in the second half, and 20 of 24 from the free throw line. Very efficient from the charity stripe, Memphis, including 13 of 14 in the second half. That's a brief recap of the game. I'll give you my thoughts from yesterday's game and where the Bearcats go from here. They have the whole week off before a monster game at number 1 ranked Houston Saturday afternoon down in the Lone Star State. I'll explain my thoughts from yesterday after I tell you how this episode of Locked On Bearcats is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. As a small business owner or hiring manager, you know that success in 2023 all depends on the team members you surround yourself with, and that's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. With LinkedIn Jobs, you can hire qualified candidates more efficiently by matching open roles with people who have the skills, values, and experiences to help you achieve your goals. I have a lot of hiring stories, a lot of positive experiences that can relate back to LinkedIn Jobs. When I was at Bearcast Media, we just simply posted who we were looking for, what we were looking for, and people came to us. We built a staff with positive people that made us very, very successful. LinkedIn Jobs helps you quickly attract qualified candidates to your open jobs with targeting tools. They go beyond resume data by using insights from your job post, company, and their 875 million member profiles to put your post in front of the most qualified candidates. Identify the most qualified candidates on LinkedIn Jobs and connect with them fast and for free. Let's screen and rate applicants based on your job qualifications all on one platform. We've got big goals in 2023, And that right positive team member can help us do just that here at Locked On. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Just post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. Thanks again for making Locked On Bearcats your first listen every day. Make sure you check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Everything you need to know about college basketball in one place. Plus, hear from big-name experts, insiders, coaches, and players. Locked On College Basketball, available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. All right, so as I said in the cold open, close is not good enough at some point, and I think that point is now. The Cincinnati Bearcats simply cannot keep playing good teams close. I mean, Russ talked about this last week in our live room, and I'm seeing it. Ever since the Bearcats beat Illinois, they have come close to beating teams like Arkansas and Xavier, Memphis in this case. They played Houston tough in earlier this month. But at some point in time, when does close simply not cut it? Right now, the Cincinnati Bearcats, after this game against Memphis, are 14-7 and 5-2. Now, these teams are going to play again later in the season. And I do think that the Bearcats can go into Memphis and win. But this game was so there for the taking. This game was never out of reach. It's not like Memphis is that much more talented than Cincinnati. I said coming into this game, you know what? Memphis can score, but their defense isn't very good. The Bearcats can score, so that means it's going to be a track meet kind of game. And then the Bearcats in the first half shoot just 10 of 29 from the field, 1 of 13 from three. They did do well at the free throw line, 11 of 15. Okay, the second half's better, but they only get to the free throw line 6 times. Memphis got to the free throw line 14 times and made 13. At some point, this team is going to have to start to put together some 40 consistently good minutes against a good team like the Memphis Tigers. Because at some point, you're going to have to win a game like this to get to the NCAA tournament. You've only got 2 chances left. You've got Houston this Saturday on the road, and then you have Memphis, I believe, on February 26th. Let me confirm that. Yes, that's a Sunday at Memphis. Time's running out. Time is running out on this team, and it's only January. But this team has played in too many games of this caliber to just keep coming close. When does close simply not cut it? When does, well, we got to win this game because we understand the importance of it? I'm sick and tired of this team. Like, I so want to really like this team, and I do like this team. But then they lose a game like this, and they get your hopes up, and then Memphis comes in, and it's 42-32 at the half. They shoot 16 of 31 from the field. Yeah, only 3 of 10 from 3, but the Bearcats shot themselves out of the game. Micah Adams-Woods had maybe his worst game of the season, 2 points, 3 assists, no rebounds, 1 of 10 from the floor, 0 for 5 from 3, did not get to the free throw line. Odi Oguama only had 2 points and 2 rebounds in 21 minutes, and he fouled out. So too did Micah Adams-Woods. Every starter in the game picked up 3 or more fouls. That's not going to help. Jeremiah Davenport was not prolific off the bench. He was okay. But at some point, this team is going to have to start doing what it does in games they win, in games that they should win, and apply it to games that they maybe aren't expected to win, although, as Russ wrote on All Bearcats, they were I shouldn't say what I don't know for sure, but they were the favorites coming into this game. I think they were the betting favorite to win this game. So the fact that they came up short, and again, is Memphis a good team? Yes. The Tigers very well could find themselves in the NCAA tournament again. But at some point in time, the Bearcats, if they're going to get back to where they were in the last year under Mick Cronin and the first year under John Brannon, where I don't know if they would have made the tournament, but at the end of the day, the Cincinnati Bearcats are going to have to start to win these games. There was a time, and I'm going to touch on this tomorrow, where you felt great going into a game like this. You knew they were going to find a way to win the game. So the Bearcats came into yesterday, I'm confirming this, slight betting favorite against Memphis. And yet they came up short by 7 points. I mean, this is the third loss to Memphis under Wes Miller that has been agonizingly close. 7, 6, and 7. When does that simply not cut it? That's my question. Because this team has the talent. This team against USF on Wednesday had 17 assists to 4 turnovers. Yesterday, they had 15 assists to 12 turnovers. David DeJulius had 6, but 6 assists to lead the team. He had 5 turnovers. When does that, in a big game, get addressed? This team's scheduled the rest of the way. After they play Houston next Saturday on national TV, they play Tulsa and UCF at home. They better win those games. They're at Tulane. That's going to be another tough game, but the Bearcats can win those games. Home against South Florida, at East Carolina, at UCF, versus Temple, and then they're at Memphis. Time is running out. This team is good. I do believe they are much better, and I wanted to believe that after Wednesday. But after what happened yesterday against Memphis, I don't know. Because I don't know what this team is going to do in games like this. This is a game of a big caliber. And they came up short once again at home. And I get it, the weather was bad in Cincinnati yesterday. I get it, maybe that's why a lot of fans didn't show up. But that does not matter. At some point, this team used to beat Memphis consistently. Now it's the opposite. Memphis is not going to the Big 12. I hope at some point they do, actually, because I think they deserve it. They are a great basketball program, and they've been a rival to Cincinnati for a very long time. But right now, Memphis is owning the rivalry. Right now, Memphis has won 4 straight games against the Bearcats, and 5 of the last 6. And you could sense back in 2019 that the tide was turning. They should have won the game in Memphis. They could have won the game in Cincinnati that year. Now, they're starting to beat the Bearcats consistently. And the next time these two teams play, February 26th, that's the second to last game of the regular season, a lot could be on the line. And you're going on the road. This team has what it takes to be an at-large NCAA tournament team. They're not winning the games, though, that help get them there. We'll hear from 2 of our sponsors and come back with a look ahead of what's coming up this week on Locked On Bearcats. We got a big week here on Locked On Bearcats tomorrow. There are some changes coming to the Bearcats defense that are much needed, and I'm going to tell you why that's going to pay off in the Big 12. Plus, we've got, I want to, there was something I saw, that's actually a bad way to say it. So, the Bengals obviously won 27-10 Sunday at Buffalo yesterday. And what I saw from them and my biggest takeaway is something I want the Bearcats to get back. So I'm going to touch on that. Wednesday, live room 12:30, yours truly, Russ Heltman. Friday, we'll look ahead to the Bearcats in Houston. That is a monster game. And we will look at other key areas of the roster following the first transfer portal entry window. So lots to get to this week on Locked On Bearcats. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. We're free and available everywhere you get your podcasts. For your second listen, check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Experts Isaac Shade and Andy Patton bring you everything you need to know on and off the court. Plus, hear from big-name experts, coaches, and players throughout the basketball landscape. Locked On College Basketball is available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. For more Locked On Bearcats, I'm on Twitter at Frankie_Natty, Instagram, AlexFrank9_, and email at alex3frank@gmail.com. For Locked On Bearcats, my name is Alex Frank. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll be back tomorrow right here on Locked On Bearcats.